everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to Blue Heart Crochet. I've been tagged, so I'm going to do that tag video today. Also, wanted to, before I get into the tag, two things I want to say. Firstly, thank you for everyone's really lovely well wishes. I took a week off posting any videos last week. I think I've posted one video on the Monday before everything got crazy. Basically, we had a medical emergency in the family. My dad had to go to A&E on Tuesday, and it was a bit hectic and very stressful. I was petrified, not gonna lie, very, very worried, very scared when it comes to my parents. The slightest thing when they get sick, I do worry about them more than others, and this was something quite serious on its own that my dad got rushed into hospital with. Thankfully he is all okay, he's all fine. Yeah, the hospital were great. So that's the first thing. Thank you for everyone who sent lovely messages on Instagram, who put messages on the post that I put up where I said I'm taking a break for this week. I appreciate everyone's love and support. I have replied to everyone. We're all amazing, and it was lovely knowing there were so many prayers for my dad, because I did just feel so helpless at home. As the only thing I could do was pray. So that was, yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you, because this community is phenomenal. Second thing, I have got the biggest spot I've ever had in my life here on my thing here at the moment. I was very lucky as a teenager, never went through a getting loads of spots stage. Probably could count on one hand like how many spots I must have had as a teenager. But I'm on a medication that causes me to have breakouts every now and again. I'm starting a new cream to try with it. But yeah, this has come out and it is huge. And when I have my camera front facing so I can see what you can see, I just keep staring at it, and I think everyone's gonna be staring at it. So yeah, I've got a massive bob. That's in our family, we always called spots bobs. So I've got a massive bob at the moment. Yeah, pain in the backside. Anyway, on to all the lovely crafty stuff. So I was tagged by Julie at KS Mom Crochets. I was tagged by her to do a tag showing off the books I have on Amigurumis, and these are them all here. So I actually went through all my books. I have about 20 knitting and crochet pattern books. There's a few that I write like garments, there's a few that are a mix, like I think there's like two decor ones, and then so there's 20 books all in total, and then there's 7 books with amigurumis in where they're either heavily featured or they are the total book basically. So yeah, that's quite a big proportion in when you break down all my books into categories and then go through them. So I am gonna go through them and I am gonna tell you what I have made out of each one. So gonna get first out the way is this one. It's called Crafty Dolls. I got this for 50p at a charity shop, and it's a sewing doll at the front, but there's all different types of dolls you can make. That's a knitted one there. There's no crochet dolls in it. It is by DK Books, which is a really good brand, and it was created by Jane Bull. I'm gonna just try and show you. There's quite a few knitted patterns for dolls. So there's like knitted clothes for dolls there, and then there's a few different knitted patterns for dolls that you can create. I'm gonna try and get some. So there's like superhero ones that you can make, ones that you can make out of gloves, and then there's like, you know, just regular dolls. So there's a few knitting ones in there. majority of them are sewn, but there's all different types of dolls, and it is a really lovely book, and can't wait to actually do something with it. And then there's this book. This is all just knitted animals. This is the Knitted Animal Friends, and the animals are so adorable in it. I mean, look at the little dog. He's so cute. And then the duck on the back. I love the duck. So there's quite a few animals in here. Here's a better picture of them. I've not created anything out of this book yet, and they all have clothes as well, and all the clothes are interchangeable. I normally am not a fan of knitted toys. I prefer the look of crochet amigurumis rather than knitted ones. But this book, they're adorable. So I picked that up. And then we have Amigurumi 7, which if you saw my old channel before it got hacked, I was working on Stitch Your Library, so I was going through all the patterns and basically trying to, you know, go through the whole book and create them out the whole book. So I am currently working on the duck, Maya the mallard, and his 2 little ducklings. So when I get back to doing Stitch Your Library again, I'll do them. I did Scratch the Seagull, I did the elephant, I can't remember the elephant's name. Was there anything else I did? I'm trying to look a minute. The pig, I did the pig, and I did the lion as well. Sorry, 1 minute. So I did Freddie the piglet. I'm trying to show them all, showing the patterns off. And sorry, remember he was right near the back. Here's Leo the lion. So I've done quite a few patterns out of this Amigurumi 7. I think they are a great pattern book to be able to discover new designers. I've never found a mistake in any of these books, so I think they do test them out really well. All the animals are created by different designers. Sometimes you'll get 2 animals in the same book by the same designer. I think Leo the lion and Freddie the pig were the same design. You can sort of tell when you're making them because the features are quite similar in the structure of them. But yeah, I highly recommend these books. They do have loads of adorable animals. I'm going through books that I've made stuff out of first. Then we have the Crochet Iconic Women. I love this book, and the designer is coming out with book 2, which I'm so excited about. So I've got that on my wish list because I want to I put books in there that I want to, you know, get in the future when I've got a bit of money on the side. So there's like absolutely loads of women from all different time periods, famous for all different things. So you've got like activists, scientists, sports stars, royalty over here, all different people. I have done I've done 2 projects out of these books. I did the Lake Queen, who I used on our Jubilee display when I work in a local library, and we had a Jubilee display, and I created her and put it on the display, and I had lots of really lovely feedback on her. And then I did Florence Nightingale, but I did the Florence Nightingale pattern twice, but the second time I used hair off a different pattern. I want to say it's the Emmeline Pankhurst hair. And I created Mary Seacole, who was another nurse working at the same time as Florence Nightingale in the Crimean War. I did them because I got told about those 2 women by my mum when I was growing up. She taught me all about these women, and my mum was retiring from nursing, and I created them for her, and I did it well in advance of her retiring. She hadn't set a retiring date yet at that time, so I did them both well in advance to try and get them ready, so that when she did retire, it was just a case of wrapping them up, ready-made presents. And she's still not retired yet. So they are still in the storage box upstairs in my bedroom. They're actually in my wardrobe, ready to give to my mum. And she nearly saw them at one point. Well, she saw one of them at one point. When we went to go and see a theatre show last year in the summer, and while we were there we bumped into Karen, Stitches and Jacks, of Stitch and Jacks, and you know, my mum and my sister were with me, and they're like, oh, how do you know this lady? And I told, you know, them about her being on YouTube, and you know, we're watching her channel and she's seen some of my videos. And so my mum was like, oh, let's see how your channel's doing, and I showed her, and she was just scrolling through the videos and they were on the thumbnail, wasn't it? And she went, oh, what's them? Thankfully that was right as the second act was starting, so I was like, I'll show you at the end, and she's never asked me since. So yeah, love the book. Can't wait to work on that a bit more. The next two books, I started working on the projects, but it was when I was still very new to reading patterns from a book. I followed like video tutorials, or when I started learning how to crochet, my nan taught me. So if I had an issue with something like a pattern, I'd go and take it to her. These were the first ones I started where there was no one I could turn to. At this point, my nan had dementia, and yeah, I couldn't ask her for help, and there was no videos for the whole tutorial. So the first one is Unicorns, Dragons and More, Fancy Amigurumi. I believe they've got a second book out. There's absolutely loads of adorable amigurumis in here. They're all absolutely beautiful. And again, I believe they're all by different designers. But yeah, I think there is like QR codes where you can scan to get videos. I'm not 100% sure, but they do like direct you onto how to do all stitches. But again, it was just as I was starting, and I was very nervous, and just, you know, it intimidated me. So I want to go back and work out these. The plan was, after I did the Amigurumi book, was to go on to this one. And the first one, I really want to make this a pattern I'm desperate to make out of here, and I just need to schedule the time in to actually do it. Is the first one in the book, Nessie the Loch Ness Monster. And it is because there's a bit of a joke in the family with everything that's going on with politics in the UK. I'm not going to get too into it, but it's just a funny joke that relates to it. So Scotland wanted to remain part of the EU, but overall Britain voted to leave the EU, if you take into account all the nations that were voting. So we left, but Scotland might have a second referendum whether they want to be part of the UK. So there's a running joke that if Scotland do leave the UK and join the EU, that my sisters, my cousins on my mum's side can get Scottish passports, and we can still travel around the EU, make holidays a lot cheaper, because my nan, my great nan was having my nan during World War II. Her husband, my great granddad, was in the Merchant Navy, and he was stationed training up in Edinburgh. So my great nan followed him up to Edinburgh. She had my nan, and when my nan was 14 weeks old, my great granddad got posted to going through the Atlantic, the Battle of the Atlantic, and going as a minesweeper out there. So he'd be gone for long periods of time, and my great nan was going to be basically stuck up in a foreign city with no support, with a newborn. So she went back down. She came back down to Liverpool, moved in with her parents, next door to her sister-in-law, you know. So she had all the family in the world around her. But yeah, because my nan was officially born in Scotland, we joked we were going to get a Scottish passport. So yeah, that's why I want to do the Loch Ness Monster, because it's Scottish, isn't it? Then the next one, I believe this is the first ever Amigurumi book I bought. It is Crocheted Sea Creatures, and I absolutely love them. There's good pictures in here of them all. So there's them, some more pictures. There's just absolutely loads of lovely patterns. I love the jellyfish, and the shark was the one I attempted to make. But again, as a newbie crocheter with no one to bounce on for support, I struggled, got intimidated, and went, I'll do that when I know more about crochet. But I also want to make the lobster because I'm a massive Friends fan, and you know there's the famous saying in there by Phoebe about, like, the lobsters holding hands when they get old in the fish tank. So, yeah, want to make the lobster, but I was going to make the shark for my sister because her favourite animal growing up was sharks. Still think they are, probably, but yeah, that's what I attempted making, struggled, and I think, to be honest, if I went back now, probably be able to do it. But yeah, it was that at the time I didn't have a big support network of people to be able to ask for help. I didn't know anyone else who crocheted at that time. I didn't go to craft groups like I do now. Now if I ever got stuck on something with crochet or knitting, I go to a craft group every Wednesday. I'd either take it along with me, or if I'm being impatient, I'll message them all on the WhatsApp group going, please help. So yeah, and there's like, I feel being able to ask on Instagram now, where chat to people or put community post up. I found that community either online or in person, which back then I didn't have, and that's where I felt intimidated and I felt like I can't do this, which looking back now is sort of ridiculous for me to have that mindset, because I remember when I first started learning to crochet, my nan's like, do you want to do a granny square blanket? They're dead easy to do. I went, no, I'm going to do it. I want to do a teddy. I mean, so I did the teddy by Sharon O'Yall. It's a free pattern, very good pattern. I'll link it down in the description box below. And then the newest book I have, and I have yet to work out is this. It is Quiet Crochet Garden, and this was a gift of Sam from Man First Makes. And I love on this, like, all the plants are like, or the accessories are grouped into the colours. It is really cool. So there's the red ones, and it is dead easy to see. I don't know if you'll be able to see it that well, but when you're like flicking through, it's dead. If you look at it in person, you can see where the coloured pages are, because it's like a full colour. So yeah, if you look there on the side, it's actually quite easy to be able to find the colours, but it's not showing up on camera very well. And the first thing I'm going to make out of this is the forget-me-nots. I think I need to get wire for it though. Let's see. Flick through to the pattern. No, it doesn't say. Oh yeah, I need some floral wire to be able to make it. So I was actually going to start that the other day, but needed floral wire. So that's my newest one. It's the forget-me-nots is what I want to make in there first. So yeah, they are all the crochet Amigurumi books. Considering I've only had 7, it's taken me nearly 20 minutes this video. So I better get on to tagging people. The First person I am going to tag is Caroline of For the Love of Crochet. She's always doing adorable bunny patterns, and they seem to all be coming from all these different books, so I'd love to see Caroline show off her books. Of course, I just want to preface this, anyone I'm tagging, if you don't want to do it, don't do it, it's fine, no pressure whatsoever. And also, Caroline was the one who let me know I had been tagged and asked if I was doing this video, because I am quite behind at the moment. I'm a week behind on videos. My watch later list is at almost 100, so I'm trying to catch up, getting there slowly but surely. Anyway, yeah, so Caroline let me know, so I'm tagging Caroline. Next, I am tagging Angelia of Crochet and House Smells. Angelia's always crocheting the most adorable little amigurumis, and so I would love to see what pattern books Angelia has. And then I am gonna tag Sam of Manfred's Makes, because she sent me the last book, and also I know that Sam helped host the last month of 2022 of Amigurumi Wars. I know she co-hosted it with Christina, but Christina's in the middle of moving at the moment, so I don't want to tag Christina of Bella and Ginetto in case, you know, and I can understand it'd be quite hard at the moment. So anyway, they're the 3 ladies I am tagging. If you are watching this video and you want to do it though, I'll tag you as well. Take it as an open tag. And yeah, if you do this video, let me know down in the comments below, because I love checking out what people's crochet books are and maybe finding some inspiration to get more. So yeah, that's what I worked out. That's all my Amigurumi books. And I'm gonna come and speak to you on Wednesday. So I hope you're all staying well, staying safe, taking care, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.